My only purpose in this is because I can no longer dismiss this current state of inequality. It's time to rise up and go to that mountain one more time to fight for the voices more silenced than mine. There's a war going on in our nation, a silent holocaust that's costing us freedom and democracy, because those who refuse to hold on to their freedom leave it to the refuse that makes its way through the sewers under our streets. This silent holocaust causes our very foundations to shake. The earth's core is about to break as the screams make their way through the dirty corridors. Pins and needles line the floors because you can't talk about it. You can't even discuss it. You can only deny that it's there, and any reason to not dismiss it is unright and unfair, for these are our rights, sacred and true. But a fool led by a fool is still a fool, and your words are mere lies that truth can see through. You see, in America, our gods are obscure. We don't attribute success, fame, and ideologies as idolatries, and we don't recognize sins as the whore. But you can't get something for nothing. So on the altar we have to offer something of meaning, something of worth, and the most costly of all, the ability to give birth. And our excuse? To pursue success, money, and fame, so we call on our gods, even those without name, like in ancient of days, people setting fires ablaze as they prostrate themselves on the altar of the grave, sacrificing their children for the sins that they crave. And we mock their barbarianism and cry out in shock, not realizing we too offer our children to the god Moloch. In the name of freedom, choices, and rights, we tear open our wombs to gods without heights. But the blood and the cracks on the floor speak for themselves as they seep down deep into Earth's core, and the cries rise straight to God's ears. Millions of babies gone before their years even began. And let me tell you, God, He ain't happy with man. There's a war going on in our nation between the slaved and the free and those living on a false ideology. You see, we're outraged at police corruption, sickened at a girl's abduction, angered by guns fired on command, humiliated by the slavery in our own land, and rightly so. But this fight is silenced, it has no name, and for every baby lost we should be hanging our head in shame, because death is crushing at the door, punishment is on our steps, for every step we didn't take, for every sin that went unwept. Oh, how desperate we need to repent, for the atrocities across our cities, for the babies that lay in waste in our backyards. What? Where do you think they went? People without names lie in unmarked graves. Like Hitler's final solution, we wiped out infants like pollution, as we try to absolve our prostitution with an act of retribution that could never truly be paid. So, let's unmask this charade and call it what it is: murder. Murder of our youngest citizens, murder of future generations of poets and artists, theologians and surgeons. Some of the greatest people we'll never meet, lives made obsolete because of choice. As a woman, I'm tired of all this foolishness, this senseless, defenseless killing of our own, my own, flesh of our flesh and bone of our bone, of anyone. I would be under the impression that a woman would understand oppression and rise up for those considered less than, those less than blessed, those found purposeless, lives worthless, and easy to suppress by any means necessary. Wise woman, speak up and say no more, for you are no fool, do not be led into this war. Because smart women see that their body is precious, their life is ordained, and they're not going to give it away totally unrestrained. See, I'm worth it and worthy. I cannot be bought. I know who I am, every piece sharpened and wrought. So listen, woman, beautiful and strong, you are life giver, deliverer of the human race. Don't let them take your gift and deceive you to your face. Giver of hope and voice to the lost, end this persecution and this silent holocaust.